I started getting credit cards when I was in college, right? Like, and that's, I think, the other scary part about it is that when we talk about this system, you're getting people hooked on it at a very vulnerable age. And because we're not educating them on financial literacy leading up to that point, like you said, I can spend $1,000 with 0%, whatever. And they don't understand the long-term implications, especially since everything now, and everything now is based on your credit score. Mm-hmm. So like, it's such a bigger picture than even debt or, interest rates. It's that now this can impact you getting a job. You're, getting a house.
I mean, there's so much that the American people don't know about their money. It's not even funny. They passed that electronic thing, went into effect in July of this year. So now every transaction that you make, it goes through the government database, and the government can stop the transaction if it decides to. I mean, there's a lot of scary shit. I mean, the electric grid goes down, in this country, which is not a crazy thought. But if the electric grid, because that's all computer run also, that goes down, they say the entire society in the United States will collapse in 3 weeks. 3 weeks. You wouldn't be able to do anything. Mm-hmm. Nothing. Everything's electronic. Everything.
Well, I mean,
couldn't get gas in 3 weeks.
But why do people want to be dependent like that?
It's a dependence that has been bestowed upon us.
This feels very similar, Lenny. This feels very similar to last episode when we were, this bullshit with technology is not always good. It makes us vulnerable.
Part of it is who controls that technology.
What happens if hackers come in, though, and just obliterate our electronic systems?
Well, I mean, the hackers have always had access to banks.
No. But if cash is the way, like there's a book out, and I want to say it was written by James Patterson. It's so good. The President is Missing. And it's like, these very simple, like little things that we take for complete granted. And one of them is like, if they were to really shut the grid down and erase everything, like if they were to erase everything, you wouldn't know what's in your 401k. You wouldn't know, you couldn't prove what you have in your bank account. You know what I'm saying? You couldn't go back, whether it's insurance, it's investments, it's whatever the case may be. If there's no paper trail with everything that is online, there's nothing unless you have what? Gold bars, cash. You have things.
If cash is even still valued at that time. They've always kind of been able to garnish your wages.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. Now they can lock your account down. They can lock your account down for any reason they want to.
So you don't have to be. I mean, normally when we heard situations like that before, you were facing federail charges, right? Like normally, if your accounts were frozen, your assets were frozen,
correct.
You were involved in some sort of case.
They had to go get a warrant and then indictment and all this to lock your down.
So they can lock down your bank account or they can lock down your credit cards.
Everything. They can lock down everything, right? Every transaction you make now through your bank goes through the federal government. The federal government goes to their thing, and it's either approved or denied and comes back. They don't want cash anymore. They want to, I mean, it really boils down to who controls the money. So if they could control your money and stop you from having money at any given time, they could totally take over our country.
Well, what's even scarier than that, though, is the fact that, yes, from a government takeover perspective, very scary.